Hey guys and girls, welcome back. My name's DeathRaye. We're playing Empyrion, of course. Hey, just to let you know, there's some real life stuff has popped up. That's why you haven't heard or seen much of me over the last few weeks. I've been kind of periodically playing, just piddling around, not doing very much because I just really haven't had the time. But I figured I would come in and pill around for a little while, let you know what was going on, at least tell you why you haven't seen much of anything. Hopefully in about 3 weeks ish, before life is going to settle down just a little bit. And yeah, unfortunately, it's not because of Christmas. It's other things going on, unfortunately, but hopefully we can smooth it out a little bit and I'll be able to take a breath. Um, yeah. But on a lighter note, I figured today I would go out and see about grabbing some asteroid or meteorite material and play around a little bit, just kind of a little of this here and there. I hope everybody's seen the announcements of what's going on. I'm kind of really excited myself. One of my suggestions, and I'm sure it wasn't me that they were listening to. It'd be a great thought to think that I was the one responsible, but I guarantee I wasn't. But solar panels and batteries. Really excited to that effect. Um, I think it'll be a very big enhancement to the game as far as power management and capabilities. As of right now, they're saying it's being looked at in the experimental version, and it's only going to be on basis for right now. But that's okay. That's at least a start. At least we know they're looking at it, which is the biggest of the you know deals when it comes to that. So yeah, we're all good. We're good on that. So that's that, and the fact that you're going to be able to actually sell things to the NPCs at the stations and such. Really big thing. A lot of people have kind of been talking about. So that's a major step. So that's going to be a good thing. Something else they're talking about is multiple factions. So um, it's not just going to be you out there by yourself, you and your sole faction if you play multiplayer. Um, so yeah, there's multiple planets and multiple factions. So you're gonna have some NPC factions that you're actually gonna be able to work with, which I think will be a good thing. You know, I keep falling off. The idea is not to fall off. That's why I built it this way. All right, here come the meteorite. Right, damn it. Yeah, okay. See, that sound as petty as it sounded to me. Now, I could just go in here, pull up a minigun. There's a little bit of jittering lag in that. Alright. The hell? What is that up under me? Oh. I guess they weren't happy that I was using my gun. They tend to do that. If you shoot around them, they tend to get a little irritated and react to the gun, so it's always a good thing to be careful. But anyway, so back to what I was doing. I kind of got a little sidetracked there. A lot of spiders out here today. Alright, deposit. Abandoned mine. Okay, let's see. Let's find something out here. Now, the nice thing about my creations is I do my best to create a creation that can do this. Almost looks like this thing needs a little more oomph just to make sure it can do that, but yeah. I like to create them so that I can actually scale walls, because there's a couple of planets that you pretty much almost need that capability just because of the type of, you know, landscape that it is. It's just all craters and valleys and gullies and such, so. You can do it. Get up there. Alright. Damn, Spider Central. Alright, it's a little bright up here. Alright, what is that? That is a deposit. Yeah, let's go see where it is. See how deep it is. Oh, what the hell? Let's make a little video of what this baby can do. As you can see, she can bore her a nice freaking tunnel. Alright, front turret. Now we go, once we've gotten access to the ground, go for all the juicy nuggets. As you can see, the forward gun for the forward turret actually has a pretty good range. Now that might be a little far. Let's work on these first. Let's test this one right here. Let's see if it's actually out of range or if it's just a very small node. Nope, just a small node. Now, one disadvantage to having the turret on the top is its limitations to being able to go too far down. So, we're going to use the rear turret, and I'm going to show you how that works. So, we'll dig a little deeper in here so we can get farther in. Should be enough. Then we'll go to the rear turret. Okay. Now, since it points straight up and down, you can do a rotation, a 360 rotation at the rear of the vehicle. Okay, so for instance. Well, a second ago you could actually see the entrance to the cave. Now, there it is. Okay. So it is now pointing upward towards the sky. So you can sort of see the opening to the cave. And then this is pointing downward towards the ground. Alright, there it is. Now this is downward. And the reason why I know that is because, see the rock kind of being red? I placed a red light underneath the bottom so that it would light up the ground a little bit to the red, so that I would know that that was pointing downward. But basically the rear turret works just like the front turret. Functionality wise, it's just a different angling, and that's all you have to do is mine it. Now yes, it works great in this instance, but it works even better in instances where you're not wanting or not needing to tunnel. Like if this wasn't 40 some odd meters in the ground, forcing us to tunnel into the ground, it was actually like close to the surface. You could actually have just rolled up to the surface, sat right on top of the node, and actually used the rear turret just to mine it from sitting there, the surface, which makes that turn off, which is what makes this unit such a great unit. Okay, because you've got the diggers, which are in front, so they actually make you a huge tunnel that you can work through. And then you've got the two turrets to function through. Now there's a cockpit on the front for the driver, for the main, and then you've got a second cockpit up here, which can be used as a main cockpit if you want to drive the vehicle in reverse. That's a possibility. I've done it before. But if you wanted to do this in a tandem situation where one person was driving and the other person was using the turret, either the forward or the rear turret, but ultimately just kind of, you know, working as a team and grabbing what you need to do. So now one thing I'm thinking about doing is the guns. Okay, the two side guns, I'm thinking about taking them off the side and putting them to the left and the right of the canopy, the front canopy. And the reason for that is the angle that the guns have to shoot in. It's great if you're doing forward, reverse, or up top, but anything side to side, like if there was something on this side of the ship facing, that gun could not shoot me where I was standing. And I'm having a little problem with that. That's, you know, it kind of leaves it a little undefended, so I'm thinking about moving it to the side. Which shouldn't be a problem, because I've got plenty of places I can move. For instance, the first, or should I say the bottom thruster, I can move that so that it's not there and the gun can sit right there. But I will play around with that, and hopefully I'll be releasing this. Well, if you're watching this video from the release, then you obviously know it's been released. But of course, I'm making this video before the release, so we'll be releasing it at some point in time. Now, another thing I like about the forward shooting is you can just roll up to a rock and boom. It's gone. Also, when you roll up or when you find a meteorite that has landed, you can do the same thing. Alright, to which we need to find a meteorite to show you how that works. Which I know I've done it before in the past. I've used the ship and in some of my videos you've actually seen, I think in the last two videos, one of the last two videos, where I was out mining, I was mining meteorites, so you've gotten to see that in previous videos. But since I'm making this also to show off this ship's capabilities, since I just happen to be doing that, I figured I would find a meteorite and record it again and let you see how that works. Meteorite has to, I mean, there's got to be some meteorites on the ground somewhere. Jesus. That's a big rock, I think. I don't think that's a meteorite. Now, another thing about this is the number of RCSs that are on it gives you a very good ability to maneuver your vehicle. Like, you can put it on its nose if need be. And that is a big requirement. You have to be able to, like, if I needed to get to this because it was too deep, I'd have to get onto my nose and be able to dig straight down. Because, I mean, if you look at it, it's actually... Excuse me. And we're talking 29, 28. Alright, let's land it. Let's take a look. Rear turret. And, okay. Alright, so we got a few there. A few there. There goes our first one. There's one behind it. There goes our second one. There's one behind it. There goes our third one. another one bites the dust. Oh, another one bites the dust. As you notice, there's some drifting involved. When you see the drifting, just stop mining for a second, let the ship settle, and then go right back to mining, and the drifting usually stops. Sometimes the drifting works in your favor. $297 Promethium. That was a big one. But again, you can see how easy it is to get in here and just start mining away. You can get pretty much to everything that's under the surface, and you have very little. Ooh, I need to eat. Hang on. Locker. Let's see. That'll work. Alright. So, like I was saying, so, I mean, yeah. So, with this vehicle, you can basically get anything and everything you need without ever leaving the vehicle. And even in hostile conditions, most of the time, there's not much out there that's going to bother you or harm you. You just got to keep your eyes open, like on really hostile planets. It's better probably to do this in tandem. As you can see, when you're in the turret view, you lose your capabilities of watching the scanner to see if there are any, like, for instance, the capital vessels that patrol the lands on some of these more hostile planets. You know, that could probably do some damage, so those are things you might want to watch out for. So, you know, the tandem version, but I tend to, on the more hostile planets, go ahead and bury myself deep into the ground before I start mining, so I'm never actually on the surface. So functionally wise, this ship is an extremely useful tool for gathering things you need. Well, look at that, 15-minute warning. It's almost 11:30. The server resets every 12 hours at about 11:30 each time. So 11:30 a.m. and 11:30 p.m. Now, on average, I would say to clear out a node would take you anywhere from about 10 to 15 minutes, and that's, yeah, about it. So you can usually do a really good job at clearing it out and have plenty of time to get things done. So. We should have this done way before the server decides it wants to reset. And I think that calls it. I think that we cleared it out. And yep, it's gone. Now that's an old marker for Prometheum meteorite. I guarantee it's not there. Can't believe we haven't run into a deposit yet. Or a meteorite, I mean. Those two are old markers. Get rid of those. And this is one of my mate's bases. CV is, because it's not there. Huh. Alright, so let me go ahead and take this back to the base before the reset. Speak of the devil. In about 10 minutes. We'll go ahead and close this out for the day. Didn't do too much, but you know, hey, you get to see the ship in action. That's always a good thing. Turn a little night vision on. And voila. I'll show you inside real quick. So on one side, you've got 3 cargo containers, 3 containers for materials, and your mobile constructor. And then on the other side is going to be gear, for instance, like your oxygen, your armor locker, and a container that is basically for the 2 of these, more for the armor locker. It's going to have this kind of stuff in it, but you can also like put extra oxygen bottles in there, and that'll work. Even though I normally I put a personal locker, a set. God damn it, get up there! No, too far. Damn it! Quit fucking with me. There we go. Okay. On most of my creations, I have like a small cargo inventory, and this is where I put all my important stuff that I'm going to need for personal gear. For instance, maybe an extra set of night vision goggles, extra canisters of oxygen, power, um, auto miners if need be, extra drills just in case, medications and heals, extra ammo, so forth and so on. So that usually I have one of these on there, but like I said, this cargo container over here, since it's on this side for a reason, could be also be used for your O2 extra containers as well. So there you go. That is your tour for the excavator. One of many of my personal favorites. All right, well, I'm gonna wrap it up. Thanks for joining me again. Hopefully in the next 3 or 4 weeks, I will clear things up. My schedule will get a lot better, and you'll see a whole lot more videos, especially back into some of the other ones, the other games that I play. So the variety will be a little bit better. If there are any videos or any games out there you would be interested in, shoot me a comment, shoot me a message, let me know. Maybe it's not a game I've heard of quite yet, Maybe I've seen it. I haven't just decided to pull the trigger on it yet. So, hey, let me know if you're interested, and I'll look into adding it to my repertoire. But again, thanks again for coming by, and I will catch y'all later.